Afternoon, everybody. We are live now on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. I'll be joined by Chris in a few minutes, who's going to be talking from his perspective about different things. So we should be getting Chris live with us in a few minutes. He'll be joining me live this afternoon on the broadcast. If you've got any comments about today's show, do post them below in the comments, and we'll talk about things in general. So I'll be bringing Chris on in a few minutes. I can see him in my screen down below. So if you've got any comments about today's show, do post them. We're on live on Facebook at the moment and YouTube, and not Periscope. Got problems with Periscope, but hey-o. Here we go. So we've got Chris here. I've been friends with Chris for quite a few years, so I'm going to bring him on the stream. Good afternoon, Chris. How are you doing?
Not too bad. How about you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. So, Chris, I know you video mess. It's frozen. Have I frozen?
No, I'm still. You froze. I haven't. Yeah.
That's rubbish, isn't it?
Yep.
Hang on. I might have to end the broadcast and come back in.
Okay.
Not sure why it's done that, because I am connected on. Hang on. Let me come back out and. I'll come right. Are you there, Chris? I'll come back in now. Can you hear me, Chris?
There we go. Yes.
Right, you can hear me. Right, I'll come back in and see what happens. I think it's freezing up, but
Oh. Weird. He's gone again.
Can you hear me, Chris?
Yep, you're back.
Right, if I freeze up, ignore me freezing up. Just ignore that, because we've got you on screen now. And
Yep.
I more or less just want to get your perspective about this today. So ignore if my screen freezes. The Wi-Fi connection here.
Will do.
So, Chris, we've known each other for quite a few years. You've got autism as well.
Yeah.
You contacted me this afternoon. I was a little bit busy doing something, but I've made time to speak to you because I know it's an important topic. You saw my video earlier on. Give me your perspective as somebody living with autism. What do you think about the current situation and what's gone on?
Obviously, my heart goes out to George's family. It's I can't believe the footage, watching it. So him saying I can't breathe, and then just it's devastating. As far as the protest goes, I think with the violence, I think they're giving the campaign a bad name. I think that just needs to stop. I mean, I would have gone, but as you said on one of your videos, we were in the middle of a pandemic. So I was at work anyway, so I've took the time to post on social media, get the campaign out there, spread my views. But how am I supposed to spread my views when people that are going to these protests are just assaulting officers and knocking police off horses? I'm not against the protests. I understand why people protest, but the violence, it just needs to stop, because that's just unacceptable.
So what do you think about people going out into large crowds and protesting and campaigning during this pandemic?
I mean, we've got to get, as you said, we can't be silenced. We've got to get the word out there. But like, if people have, like, if you want to, I would have gone out myself, and I'm passionate about this campaign. But please, social distance, because I mean, even before this protest started, the R rate was already up. The R rate's already up in some places. because people are going back to school and people are going to the beaches. I don't blame the protesters for if we get a second wave, if we get a second wave, but it's not because of the protesting. It's because of the government lifting the lockdown too early.
So do you think people should not be? Obviously, I know what's gone on with I know people have been quite vocal about it, and people have been saying that people have the right and the opinion to go out and protest of what's happened with the guy who got stood on by a police officer and sadly died. But do you think that people, for example, for me, if it was somebody who's autistic, if it was a child or an elderly person or a young adult for that case, if it was a person who actually went out and a police officer did that to somebody who was autistic and did that and killed that child or adult with autism, would you be going out and protesting the next day during this pandemic?
No, because I work. I'm a key worker. I work in retail, so I can't afford to be. My personal perspective is I can't afford to be making risks because then that puts my mum at risk, and I've got to think about my gran had cancer, and I've got to think about everyone else in my circle. But if it wasn't in a pandemic, then yes, I would. I would literally not be silenced. I would be campaigning non-stop.
So you have, as a person with autism and myself with autism, you have the same perspective as me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you have the same perspective as me that people should not be gathering outside in large crowds and campaigning, protesting during this pandemic for whatever case or for whatever reason it is.
I mean, we have split. We have split opinions. I'm not gonna lie, but it's a bit hard to say that people shouldn't go out and protest when individuals can go out and go on a little trip to Durham or wherever it was to get his eyes tested. You know what I'm saying, mate? And I think, go on.
No, go on, carry on, Chris. No, that's fine. Carry on.
No, I didn't want to. I could see you, so I didn't want to. I wanted to let you come in, but I think as well. I think the government is responsible for all this. I mean, look at how they treated the Windows generation.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
those
as,
people.
as the government guidance stands and the government guidelines are, we all in the United Kingdom have to adhere by the government guidelines, which is to stay 2 meters apart and
Yes.
not to go out and gather in huge crowds.
Yeah, that is true. But I don't think things are going to change if we don't speak up. And I know we've got social media like stuff, but the problem is with social media is there's people that are verified as such. All they do is they spread hate towards the black community, and I think those people should be held accountable for what they're saying. They're instigating all this hate to different people with minority, like different minorities.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're hearing me okay there, but the broadcast seems to be breaking up, freezing. I'm not sure what's going on with I think it's my broadband connection my end. But Andrew Rutler says, difficult discussion. There are a huge risk with COVID, but how can people ignore what's going on? Very good question, very good point. However, yes, I agree. Everything's happened is wrong, and people should protest and campaign, but do it in the right time, not when there's during this current deadly disease. Because all these people who went out and protested would they now be going self-isolating for 2 weeks?
I mean, they've got this trace system, and if one person there it turned out to have a test, and then like you come up positive, they'd have to try and contact all those people.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I know you wanted to come on and chat about that. So, how are you coping with the lockdown, Chris? How are you doing with that?
I mean, it's been tough. I mean, me and my partner split up because of this lockdown because I've not been able to see each other. Being a key worker, I respected the government guidance and didn't bother going to see him, and that resulted in me and him splitting. But other than that, I'm just going to work as normal, working my normal hours, going out for walks, obviously social distancing, wearing masks, carrying hand gel. But other than that, I was just stuck at home, going to work, walking home because I couldn't stay out. Being a key worker, you've got to think of, when you work in retail, you see about 500 people a day, and you've just got to think about those people and the colleagues that you work with as well.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing your thoughts and comments today. Thanks for coming on. Like I said, and you said as well, our hearts go out to the person who sadly got killed, and it shouldn't have happened. It should have never happened. People are entitled to their opinion. We have freedom of speech. People can express their own opinions, judgments, etc. But personally, from me as a person living with autism, from my perspective is, for whatever reason, for whatever issue, subject, people should be social distancing. Robert says, it's not easy when friends pass away. No, it's not. And, people have the right to campaign and protest about different things. Michael says, people were trying to stand apart at protest, including the one I was at, also mostly wearing face mask. However, I have to say that I've got an image here which I'll show you on screen if my computer doesn't freeze up. Let me see if I can get that up on the screen. Don't know if you can see that now, but there's a picture there of some protesters yesterday. None of these protesters there are wearing any face mask whatsoever. Not socially distancing. All huddled together in a huge group. So that's how I feel about it. I feel that people shouldn't be meeting up in huge crowds. Are you there, Chris?
Yeah, I am. So I'm here. Yeah, and yeah, that picture. I mean, it's a really difficult and sensitive subject to cover. It really is. And I was downstairs. I know you'd messaged me, and I was downstairs. I was eating, and I was talking with my mum, saying that I was going to do this, and we were just talking about it as well.
Yeah, no, it's a very difficult subject, and a lot of people are angry and upset, which
Saying that I was going to do this.
they have every right to.
Yeah, but
So I was getting some feedback. Apologise about the broadcast. It's not very good. It's not very good quality. Am I still freezing up, by the way?
Occasionally, sorry, that feedback was my end. I'd accidentally clicked on my phone.
All right, we've got a message here from somebody, Robert. I had a question for Chris. What has helped you with the virus situation? Have things been odd for you during this time?
Yeah, it's been difficult. As I said, me and my partner split. He's on the autistic spectrum, and him not being able to see me, we just ended up having a massive argument one night, and I decided that it was the right time to end the relationship. I've been just keeping myself busy, just playing games on my Xbox and stuff, just to pass the time. Because obviously not being able to go out and stuff, it has been tough.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, Chris. Yeah, I think it's difficult for a lot of people at the moment. Yeah, so thanks for coming on and sharing your thoughts, Chris.
No problem.
I hope you stay well. Don't forget,
Thank you. Yeah,
if you struggle, or you need any support, or you want to message me, do feel free at any time. It's
yeah,
just when you messaged me this afternoon, I was just in the middle of doing something. But
yeah. Don't worry. Yeah, but I just wanted to. I watched your live video back, and I just wanted to shoot you a message.
yeah, I've got another message here from Michael. He says, I think the exception should be made for couples who live in different addresses. I'm considering an e-petition on the matter.
As far as this social distancing and lockdown goes, going back to couples, my biggest pet peeve is we issue guidance for the store and we ask for one person per household, and they're still, even now, they still turn up in big groups expecting to go into a shop. I went to Aldi the other day and I got told that I needed to wait outside, and I was fine with that. But just, and people pushing in queues and literally threatening to assault security guards. There's just no need for it. Retail staff have got it hard enough as it is without people making our lives a lot harder than they are.
So another message that it's been hard for me as well. This week I was going to help with disabilities camp for kids in a wheelchair as well too. Oh, sorry to hear that, Robert. So how are you coping at the moment, Chris, with food shopping and getting your food? Are you having them delivered, or are you going out to supermarkets and getting your own food?
No, I'm going to work to get my shopping. I actually go, it's probably a really bad confession, but I actually go early in the morning, like just before the shop opens, and just go in and just get nip round and just get everything. And then I just get a few bits if I need to from home, or just nip to Aldi because there's never a queue at the Aldi just over there. So
Cool, great. So
for people that are,
so in general, after work, what sort of things are you doing to keeping yourself occupied apart from playing games and that? What sort of things are you doing to keep yourself busy?
playing games, reading, like I just read, like I download magazines and I just read those, and that's it really. Just go out for walks. I play Pokemon Go a lot, so just, that keeps me busy.
Great. Well, thanks for joining me, Chris, this afternoon. I know it's only been a short broadcast, but thanks for
Sorry, I'm
coming on.
just laughing at this message, Danny. I never eat clones. They always taste funny.
Chris, never eat clowns. They always taste funny. I'm not sure. I'll get that on the screen. I'm not sure what he means by that. But thanks for that comment, Robert. Thank you. Uh, I'm not sure what he was on about. Some other people have joined the broadcast. Aidan, welcome, Aidan. Wendy's joined, welcome. Victoria, welcome, Victoria. Ruth's joined, welcome, Ruth. So thanks everybody for joining in. Thanks for your perspective, Chris, on this subject. I know it's a very complicated and difficult subject to talk about, but thanks for sharing your thoughts and opinions.
No problem. Given the strict lockdown and how they are relaxing the rules, how are you coping with the changes? I'm just carrying on as normal, to be fair. I mean, just going out for longer walks now that obviously you can go out for longer walks. But before I was just going out for my hour exercise once a day. Hopefully, I'll see you at the autism show soon.
All right. We we don't know one whether that's going to happen. Right. Robert's just come up with a message. He is making me laugh. I'm not sure what he's on about. Chris, did you ever tell? That's very funny, that is. I don't normally laugh at jokes, but that's really good. Chris, did you tell you why should you never eat a clock? Because they are very time consuming. Very good, Robert. Very good.
I mean, as you were saying, yeah, we don't know when it's going to happen, but hopefully I will see you very soon. It's probably going to be next year now, because obviously I think we've missed the last one, or around the time frame that it normally happens.
Yeah, I actually was invited to talk at the autism show in Manchester and London this year, but obviously that's not going to happen for me because, even this current situation, I wouldn't be going to an event like this because of, the pandemic. So, that won't be happening for me until the government have actually got some sort of vaccination in place. So Robert said again, what is the autism show about? So Robert, the autism show, just before we go, is about people networking, sharing information, sharing different techniques, therapies or intervention. Charities are there talking about different things. Speakers go as well, talk about different types of issues related around autism. So that's what the autism show is about. However, a lot of people find that places like the autism show, I find it in particular, when I've been, I find it very, very overwhelming in the sense that, there's too much noise, there's too many people, too much noise, lots of sensory issues for me. However, like I say, I won't be going to any autism show until the pandemic eventually goes and they've got a vaccination. Gemma said hi, Kevin. Hi, Gemma. How are you doing on YouTube? So, Chris, thanks for coming in and thanks for speaking this afternoon. And thanks for everybody
No problem.
leaving your comments and messages today. Stay safe, Chris. Look after yourself. And, if you ever want to drop me a message, feel free to do so. And if I can't help you or, you need to find some information, I'll try and put you in the right direction. If I can't give you the answer, then I'll go away and try find it for you and come back to you. But thank you for, sending me a message today on Facebook. And I know you wanted to talk about the live video, which I did earlier today, because you had some opinions which you wanted to express on social media. So thanks for that, Chris.
No problem.
So have a great Sunday, Chris. And Gemma just says, Kevin, you're amazing, Kevin. Thank you for your incredible work. Oh, thank you, Gemma. That's so kind of you.
I agree, Gemma, and this is my problem as well. You're entitled to your opinion. I mean, our opinions are slightly different regarding the lockdown. However, what you have done and what you have achieved is incredible. You are like an inspiration for people on the autistic spectrum. The work that you do with the NAS, it's incredible. Me and Chris run obviously Autism Not Panic, and obviously he's had health issues and his family's had health issues, so that's kind of been like on the lower side for now. But on the scale that you are really, and considering that you've been through absolute hell with the abuse on Twitter and Facebook in trying to get verified, and we did that massive campaign of trying to get you verified and we finally got there, why should you give that up now? Just because people don't like your opinion.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned earlier, Chris, I did feel like this morning deleting my Facebook and Twitter account because I was targeted yesterday as well by an editor from a soap, a person who's an editor from who writes stories about soap articles. He sort of targeted me and asked me a question about why didn't I mention about people going to beaches to the seaside, which I did several occasions on Facebook and Twitter. So I got the screenshots of the post and sent him the messages about myself mentioning about people should be avoiding any type of gathering or any type of social gathering during this current pandemic, and that it was not acceptable for whatever reason. So as a person with autism, I'm very literal and very to the point. So what I see, I say. But I'm not having people messaging me and telling me what I should and shouldn't post. And secondly, telling me that people who are leaving comments on different types of posts shouldn't be leaving comments. I can't control what people write on social media. At the end of the day, it's freedom of choice, freedom of speech. At the end of the day,
However, social media is not the place for racism. I sit there on a regular basis looking for Twitter, searching, and I just sit there and I just sit there reporting posts. And I get notifications from Twitter saying, this post has been removed for violating the guidelines. And I'm just like, bye.
yes, yeah, exactly, Chris. And I just wanted to show you just something here. Just bear with me a second while I just pull it up. If I can find it now. Just bear with me 2 seconds and I'll just show you. Just getting it up now. I don't think I can find it now. No, I can't find the first post now, but I'll share it with you another time.
Yeah.
No, actually, I might have it to you. Just bear with me. Yeah, so I've got this post here which shows. Don't know if you saw that then, but somebody's just mentioned on here. I'll bring it up. What was the reason for shutting down Autism Radio? That would ever be useful supporting people with autism. For whatever reason, messages from Tameside Autism Group were ignored. Gary, sorry about that, Gary. For your information, Gary, Autism Radio project was a very, very successful project. It was a funded project for a year. And all the volunteers who were at the radio station, we had about 13 volunteers who did the radio station radio program. The project came to an end. We still have the equipment, and we had it for several years. Sadly, the volunteers from Autism Radio UK got jobs and got different types of committed work, so they left as volunteers. So sadly, the radio station stopped. But I don't think this is very relevant to the subject we're talking about now, Gary. However, thank you for your comment, but I don't find it really of an importance to the subject which we're talking about right now. So Autism Radio UK was a very successful project, and it did its job. And the station was sold. And the money was left to benefit the charity, which I'm no longer involved in. So I don't know what that post or that comment is relevant to this particular topic. But anyhow, thank you for sharing that. So, Chris, thanks for being with us.
No
Have
problem.
a great Sunday, and thank
And you.
you all for your comments. Have a great day, Chris. Take care.
See ya. Can I just say as well quickly, I'm not going to keep you. Congratulations on you and your partner coming out and everything like that. I mean, you know, as well. I just wanted to put that out there because I haven't actually spoke to you about that. But
All right. Thank you. Thanks,
no
Chris.
problem.
Thanks. You have a great day.
And you. See you, mate.
See you. Bye.